Yeah.
The student news. So I use that all the time. My kids love it, so I'm hoping that this will be as exciting.
All right. This is Kate Hutchinson coming from you from Greater Clark County Schools with Cindy Harrison. And we are live. She's going to show us about NBC Learn and My Big Campus. And so the first thing we're going to do is watch a video. And we're going to do that. Start screen share. And here we go.
Awesome.
Come on in, guys.
Greetings to all the administrators, teachers, students, and parents across the Hoosier State. On behalf of the Indiana Department of Education, Office of E-Learning, I'm Brian Williams, welcoming you to NBC Learn. We put these collections of events about history, science, math, personal finance, and more all together for teachers, students, and parents. We learn every day about all of it while covering the news every day for our jobs, and we are now delighted to be sharing them with you. Enjoy.
That's right.
Oh.
We are told by the honorary teacher
NBC News, the network that made history with the first news broadcast, is now bringing outstanding content to 21st century students with 21st century technology. NBC Learn makes the resources and rich history of the news archive available to teachers and students online.
Our students demand lessons of an interactive nature.
This is Isaac Asimov. He doesn't like to require a typewriter. They're not into reading textbooks. They want to see. They want to feel.
The key to recovery of endangered species habitat.
We have a generation now that is used to multimedia.
when I see my own kids at our kitchen computer, what they learn in the space of an hour and how they learn it, I'm more and more convinced that this has to happen.
We know that the NBC News Archive, that those are genuine clips and that the information is accurate. It's going to make my curriculum a lot more dynamic, a lot more interesting and interactive. And I don't have to run around and scramble around to create this. It's being done through a place with enormous resources.
All of the stories cataloged in this great building, this great network, that's all the raw materials of education.
If you want to know where we're going, you have to know where we've been, and that applies to pretty much anything. These archives are a rich reservoir, they're a treasure. When you see these video clips, when you can go in and say, here's what it was like.
We are the women that our parents warned us about, and we are proud.
Here's what people had to experience.
We intend to march to Montgomery with St. Rivers to Governor Dorsey Washington.
You see not just the moments, but you get the feel for what the mood of the country was at the time.
What a day it was, really a tough one for investors down here on Wall Street, as the notion set in that we are officially in recession.
What the issues were, what the struggles were.
You're seeing the destruction of the Berlin Wall.
You see that it makes it real for kids.
My presence here is one additional bit of evidence that the American dream need not forever be deferred.
And here it's right at the fingertip of teachers, and they can bring these lessons alive.
Background and context are what we do. We combine journalism with the moving image. The tragedy would be if all these words and pictures were to remain locked up in a vault on Asian film and videotape, never used for learning purposes. That would be a genuine tragedy.
It's important that we recognize this history as a learning opportunity to understand how we can work together, how this country has ridden through so many bumps and bruises along the way, and how we continue to find our way to making ourselves a better country.
Yay! All right,
Yay.
great. It kind of gives you kind of some background. So can I take over the screen or?
Yes.
Oh, perfect. Okay. And then I need to do full. There we go.
And just a reminder, everyone, we are live right now, and on the Google.
Okay. All right. So somehow I lost the picture, but the main thing is, do you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right. So this is where Katie told you to go to, is indiana.nbclearn.com. NBC Learn Resources has been purchased by the Indiana DOE, their e-learning division, for every single teacher, student, parent in the entire state of Indiana, including parochial and private schools, and obviously as well as public. So you have that. So I'm going to go ahead and click here to access NBC Learn K-12. And you'll know you're in the correct place by, it will say, Welcome Indiana Department of Education. Now, at this point, you have access to over 16,000 resources that we have gotten from our archival collection that we add every day through current events. And we also have original NBC Learn collection. So I'm just going to give you a brief overview of what you can do with all of these different resources. However, I strongly suggest you go ahead and register now, because you do have an increased functionality of making playlists and taking notes if you have your own account. So feel free to do so. You can do it now while you're watching this overview. You can do it later. But I do suggest that. I'm going to go ahead actually and sign in so I can show you that increased functionality. So I'm going to go in here real quick and log in. And so now I have my own account. There we go. All right, so then it changes, you know, to Welcome Cynthia, so that way I know that I'm here. Like I said, though, you do have access to all of the other resources. So we highlight various resources within our, what we call our carousel. We have, you can follow us via various social media. Here is a Brian Williams video. It's not catered to the Indiana educator as it is on the site that we just showed you, but it is welcome if you want to share with a colleague. Our newsletter, great source of information that comes out at the beginning of each month. Our original collections, like I said, I'll come back to that, as well as come through and look at campus perspectives, where we have gathered various resources from various colleges and universities across the country on what they're doing on their particular campus. So it's kind of a great way to expose students to college life, other than what all the movies show. We have then the most watched videos of the week, and all kinds of various types of videos. You never know what's going to be up here. The NBC Learn in the Classroom, I strongly suggest you come back when you have a little more time and come through here. It gives specific ways on how these particular teachers in the various content areas and how they're using NBC Learn in their own classroom. This top teacher here is a high school senior. She teaches economics and sociology and how she uses it. And then they also share the videos that they use in their classroom. The teacher below her is a 7th grade language arts teacher who not only uses it for current events and searches by standard, but she also develops, as a language arts teacher, she uses it to set the context of the stories that students are going to be reading. So you can just use it in a variety of ways, but come back through here when you have an opportunity to really peruse through the different subscriber spotlights. Also, I'll have my contact information. If you find you're using it and want to share what you're doing, let me know. And that's always a good thing if you're into your summative, is to be able to say, I've reached out to 10 different countries and 45 states. So you can do that. So let me know. I'm going to go back up to the top here. And as you can see, our collections are along the left-hand side. And I'm going to go ahead and start with current events. Like I said, we have archived from our 6 million hours of archival videos. We have started digitizing them, but we also have added current events. And you can see here it goes down to 2008. That is when we started gathering current event information for NBC Learn. And I know 2008 doesn't seem all that current any longer. However, once a resource is placed within NBC Learn, it stays there. So you don't have to worry about a link being broken, or if you had put this in your PowerPoint, it not being here. It will be here. Once it's in our collection, it does stay in our collection. The current year is listed out by month. So I'm going to go ahead and click on July. They are currently working to put on this week's material. So if you log in a little bit later this afternoon, you'll have the week of July 20th here. But I'll go ahead and click on week of July 13th. And so we can go in here. You can learn about this. This is a remarkable story if you are a geography teacher, or on how this boy's village, it would kill the kids. They would actually murder them if, like, their top teeth came in first and not the bottom teeth. And so one man realized that was just wrong, and an outsider from the United States, a photographer, just a retired gentleman who's a photographer, had come in to start taking pictures, and they worked it out, and now they have actually changing this ancient ritual. So very phenomenal story. Or we can learn more about the Malaysian Airlines Flight 17 here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and I'm going to pause it. This is what we call our cue card. This is where all of our resources are placed. We are primarily videos, but any image, letter, document, everything else is placed within the cue card as well. We can actually add closed captioning. We can go full screen. So we have that. So I'll go back down. I'll draw your attention to the upper right-hand corner where you have a backward-facing arrow. It turns orange when you hover over it. I'm going to actually flip the card on its back. And then you have access to all of the metadata. So you know that this particular resource came from NBC Nightly News. It could come from a variety of family of properties, including the Today Show or Meet the Press, Dateline NBC, MSNBC, CNBC, any of those types of, any of our family of properties would gather our information. You can see the published date. You can also have the copyright information. It usually takes about 24 to 36 hours to place a resource on NBC Learn to get it all copyright clear. You don't have to worry about copyright as a subscriber. The clip length here is 3 minutes and 37 seconds, which is very indicative to the majority of our resources, which are between 1 and 6 minutes in length. They're a journalistic story. It's short, to the point, with a beginning, middle, and end. You then have a description. So 3 minutes and 37 seconds isn't that long, but when you're looking for multiple resources, it does add up. So you do have the ability to come here and look at the description. There are keywords. If your students are one-to-one or doing their own, bring your own device and have access to their own computer, they can do this. They can click on Crash. These are all hyperlinked within the other 16,000 plus resources, and it will bring up any other resource that has this particular keyword to it. Then citation. I don't know if I said anything. I'm a former U.S. history teacher. I taught U.S. history at a Title I high school, very multicultural, in Houston. My students had to cite all of their sources for any project or research paper. Yes, I still had them do a research paper. They had to come through here, so it made it really nice to have it available to them where they could just click the style I requested, which I usually did MLA. They could copy, paste it onto their project, paste it into a Word document. And actually later this year we are coordinating with EasyBib. So if you are familiar with EasyBib, we'll have that there as well. I'm going to go ahead and turn the card back over. I'm going to click on transcript. So you also have access to the full transcript. So if you're needing informational resources, it's all right here with any of our videos. Students can copy and paste and quote it. To be honest, this is how I actually look for my own resources. Instead of clicking on the back to read the description, I actually just opened and perused through the transcript. So I'm going to go ahead and close that. And this is where it differs. So if you had gone ahead and registered, you have access to these first two tabs. If you are just seeing it from, the Welcome Indiana DOE, then these two tabs will be grayed out. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Save. And I have a variety of playlists already coming up. and you have an unlimited amount, but I'll show you actually where these go. I'll actually click on New, and I'm going to call it Greater Clark. And I can click on Save. And it will turn green, and the drawer closes automatically, and that way I know it has saved. By being able to save it, I actually have notes, and I actually use this for this morning's conference. So you can put anything here. Put information. You know, I would put my questions that I wanted to make sure I asked each class period. You can also, if you're talking about, maybe you want to talk about the FAA after this, or learning more about the black box or anything else, you can actually click on the link and you have everything right here. So if you're in the front of the room, you've asked questions, you can just click on your hyperlink and go immediately to your next part of your class, whatever you're doing for your own classroom. So I'm going to click on Save, and then the drawer closes again automatically. Everything about NBC Learn is collaborative in nature. So I'm going to click on the Share button. So you can push it out if you're using Edmodo, if you have a Facebook page, if here's Google+, if you're tweeting it out, you can do so with one click. However, a lot of teachers have put it in if they already have maybe existing PowerPoint, so they just want to create a link to it or add a link to their web page or send it to a colleague via email. Any which way you want to use it, you just click Copy URL. And then print. This is a really nice feature for all your students that in their IEP required a written copy of notes, or even if they just want them. You have that. So basically you get an image from the video. It's a two-dimensional version of the cue card. You have all of the metadata and bibliographic information from the back of the cue card. You have the full transcript, and then any notes that you put here. So if you put questions here, then your students would get those as well. It's really nice in a one-to-one environment. You can click on PDF, get a PDF style form, and then just send it directly to your students that way and not even print it. They can just have a full digital copy. Download. This is a great feature that if you're having internet issues, the first time you click on it, you will be asked a series of prompts, including downloading Adobe Air. So just follow along, and now I have successfully installed my player, and so you can see how quickly this video does download. But what I can do here is if I go up in the upper left hand corner to library, I have access to any of the other resources that I have saved in my offline player, and I can click on one and it automatically starts because it's coming directly from your desktop. You're not waiting for it, you're not clicking to it from the internet. Now, on this, you can actually embed if you want to put it in a Word document or lesson plan or your presentation. You can copy this embed code, and then it will play directly from your desktop. You're not having any kind of, like I said, lag time or anything else from the internet. NBC Learn knows that you're going to be working on multiple computers. If you're not working on a laptop, you might be working on a computer at home. And so they made this transportable. So if I'm working on this at home, I can click on export, send it to my flash drive. When I get to school and in my classroom, I can click import and bring it in. So all of these videos are transportable using our download player. So I'm going to go ahead and click off on that. Now, we also have a standards tab. I am not going to click on this one since it's a brand new resource. We do send out all of our materials to a service that does correlate them and assign them, correlate them to various state standards. And so it does take about 6 to 8 weeks. So any of these newer videos will not have a standard feature, but I will, as I go through the collection, I'll grab another one and show it to you at that point. I'm going to go ahead and close that one. Was there a question?
I don't think so. No, I think we're good.
Oh, good. Okay. Feel free to ask at any time.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to go back to all collections. All right, so I'm going to go ahead. You can see various collections. Do we have elementary teachers in the room?
Any elementary? No? Are we all secondary?
Oh, wow.
Middle school? All right. There you guys are. Mostly just come on.
What's nice about a small group is you can let me know their content areas, and I can focus on those.
Okay. Anybody content want to focus on?
Science.
Science?
All right, so let's move to science.
Okay. Okay. Oh, that would be good. I'll have that next. Writing development's the next one, by the way, Cindy.
Which one?
Writing development.
Oh, okay, perfect for language arts and English.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, so just a brief overview of our science. So if you're, a biology teacher, you can come back and go through, learn about this, how the norovirus was being spread. And then just, all kinds of different things about the, dog intelligence. Oh, this was an interesting story. This might be a little too new still. It should have our standards. But how they actually had to ship the salmon. They had to put them in an 18-wheel in these containers on 18-wheelers and actually take them upstream and take them back to the ocean. An incredible, very engaging story for your students. If you happen to be biology or environmental science, you would have that. I'll actually click on standards here. So let me go to Indiana. Now we have completely updated the new social studies standards for Indiana. I want to say math and language arts are in the works and should be finished by the end of the month. And science is up there. It was one of the later ones that we received, so we are diligently working on that to have that all up to date for you ASAP. I know school starts way too soon for you this year. So I'm going to click on Indiana and then go. And so then you have all of the different Indiana academic standards that support this video, or this video supports these following Indiana standards. So you're going in anywhere from reading and foundations to with the earlier grades, and then as we get in the upper grades. Oh, because they haven't put the new science ones in yet. So that will be coming shortly. So then we will see the science. This will be corresponded to some science standards once that gets complete. So right now that shows them that the language arts is now complete. It wasn't last week, so this must have occurred over the weekend, having that. So you can come through here and find that. So, but that's just a brief example. If we go back out in science, if we can go into astronomy, as you can see, we can go further on any of them. At any point, you can go to the top of the page where it says copy URL and actually save this whole collection. You can put it on your website, and students can just look at all 358 resources within the collection, or if you're wanting just to go in with a particular mini collection, sub-collection here, come through here, copy the URL, or you can even go any further. And this is a great video, very popular, about Pluto being, is it a real planet, and how it was demoted. It's just kind of a cute story that really engages students about Pluto. You have that. So click back a little bit. So, but at any point you can do that. The other thing you can do is you can actually click on list view. So instead of looking at the thumbnails, you actually have a brief description of each resource. You can go ascending, but what I like to do is ascending. You can go back and get all of our rockets from the 50s, but if you change it to event date, you get any anniversary piece. And as I said, I was a U.S. history teacher, but I actually would show Sputnik, because you learn about that in history. And then how, this is triumphant. We were the first to walk on the moon, which we have an anniversary piece yesterday talking about landing on the moon 45 years ago. So but it's really nice to be able to get these anniversary pieces where it does show students, change over time how you look at something a little bit differently 20 years later than opposed to when it actually occurred. So I'll go back to descending. So this is, that is just a little bit on science. Is there another area in science?
No, I think we're good. Do you want to do some literature stuff? Or?
Perfect. I will go back to language arts.
And I want to remind you that these are 45-minute sessions, so you have about 19 minutes.
Okay, I'm glad you reminded me. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, so we can go through here on literature. So I want to do a deeper dive into writing mechanics. So just at this level, then we can still continue further with basic writing or writing styles or research or any of these other. I'm going to click on basic writing. And if I click on idea prompt, I would have different authors talk about how they came up with their idea. The Nickel and Dime, she is great explaining. Love the conversation with Aaron Sorkin. This was talking about his West Wing, but he also talks about his play For a Few Good Men, and again, how he builds up his characters and their interactions. Grammar. We have actually put together these little minute-in-length videos about common errors in English usage. So lay versus lie, cannot, or it's and it's. And so it's really quick. There's some also fun things with Dr. Grammer on how what was interesting about him is his video, it's over 20 years old, but it's still applicable today. The decline of grammar, how companies are spending $3 billion a year now to retrain their current employees because they don't speak and write properly. So just any of these ways to come back through here and look for writing. And then we also have our Writer Speak, again, where we have gathered various interviews with authors we have done over the years. There's 97 of them. A good one for junior and high school students would be Samantha Shannon on the Bone season. She's 21 years old, graduated from, I guess she's 22 now, this is about a year old. But how she started writing at 13, sent her manuscripts in at 17, but got declined by all of the publishers. But one actually saw talent in her, so when she graduated from Oxford, she now has a 7-book deal. What I personally like about that interview was he actually said that she was mature enough to understand that the criticism wasn't meant to be mean, it was meant to be helpful. So it's always nice, and that's as teachers, when we correct kids, it's not to be mean, it is, let's do it right this time, this is how you should do it, and give them ideas. So that's a great resource. All right, so you can come back through here. I love showing just briefly, if you could, especially if you're the science teacher. Now, any of these science videos were also within its appropriate area within the science collection, but this is just a great way to come and find, if you're Newton's three laws of motion are in hockey, but we also have them in football, where here's the third law, second law, and first law, where you can actually get engaged, get the students really engaged in these particular topics. So unlike the news where it's our archival or current event videos, this is where we went in and we've partnered with the National Science Foundation in this case and the NFL to bring these more STEM topics to life, including, changing planet. We have our town hall. We have, if you're a chemistry teacher, love this. You can have the chemistry, and they break it all down. You can have the chemistry of chocolate. So you have not only the chemistry of chocolate, but any other additional materials that we have within our collection to help support the chemistry of chocolate. All right, so I'm going to move on back home. Yes.
No, we're good. Keep on.
Oh, I thought you had a question.
No, I was just checking.
Oh, okay. All right. So you can browse, but then you can also find by state standards. So, for instance, I'm actually going to use a social studies since we know that one is up and ready to go for sure. So I'll go down to Indiana standards. I'm going to then click on social studies, and I'll do 9th grade, and I'm going to click on search.
How does she do that?
Can you show that again?
Okay, while it's working, I clicked on state standards.
Oh, up at the top.
Up here at the top. And then I just chose from the menu, which it would automatically come up for you as Indiana, and then you would just choose the subject and grade level. And I don't know why it's taking so long. Oh, there we go. We're not going to have all of them, but we do have the majority of them. So you can come through here and then just select the one you want. So I'm going to go ahead and just show this one as an example. You can have anywhere between 1 and I don't even know how many. I've seen several pages actually pop up on this, but you come through, and what's nice is if you click on it, it actually brings it up, so you're able to see it.
It became official just today.
So I'm going to go ahead and pause that. So that's really nice to have. Oh, and then it went back for me. Because the other thing I want to show you really quickly in here is if you have to show your standard in each lesson plan, NBC Learn has already put it together either in a Word or Excel document form. So all you have to do is, and now unfortunately we're waiting for this, it will come up here in the upper right hand corner. You'll have a Word icon or an Excel icon, and you can click on that, and it'll actually where you can just cut and paste it and bring it into your own document. So right here, or you can just print it out from here. So I failed to show that when we went through that. So you can actually then browse, you can search by standard, and then you can actually search over here. I'll do the Civil War, makes it easy. So we'll click here. But you can search for anything. You can search for Indiana. But yeah, this is 465 resources. That's quite a bit. It will probably include the Spanish, Civil War and the other civil type wars that we have in Kosovo. So I want to actually come over here to the advanced search and actually put a date in. And
hey, while you're doing that, Cindy, can you go through again how you got to Word?
Oh, in the state standards?
Yeah.
All right, so if you click on that, click on the standard. Oh, I'm going to pass Indiana. I'm going to go to Social Studies. And you can do whichever one, 9th grade. So
there's some lag.
Yeah, I'm trying to go quickly, and sometimes I go too fast.
That's okay. Well, there's a little bit of lag with your screenshot, and so your drop-down menus aren't popping up.
Oh, okay.
So once you have the card pulled up.
Not even that. You can even do it before.
Oh, okay.
So here in a minute, well, you have to have this up, and then there we go. Up here in the upper right-hand corner.
Mm-hmm.
You can click it into a Word format. So if you're needing, I'll just click it.
Yeah, we actually, yours is frozen. But we saw your mouse. Did you get it?
Hello. I put back.
Is it still lagging?
Yeah.
Oh. I'll wait. Just tell me.
Okay. Yeah. So once I have the state standards.
Once you're at the state standards, choose your standard that you want.
Okay.
In these five.
Okay. We'll do 8th grade. Okay, and so I'm searching 8th grade language arts standards.
Okay, then in the upper right-hand corner, you should see this, an Excel or a Word icon.
Okay, so once the top right-hand corner, you'll see. Okay, we're good. Keep going.
Good. Yay, because that's very valuable to have, where you don't have to type those all out. You can just cut and paste.
Yeah.
Save time.
Do you want to touch on My Big Campus?
Okay, so the search is very, standard. I want to show one quick thing with the playlist real fast, and then I'm going to go to My Big Campus.
Okay.
So if you go to my playlist here, they all come up here. The whole thing I want to point out is that they are collaborative also, just like the cue card and just like the collection. And of course, I have so many playlists. You can have unlimited amount. The thing at the top, you'll still be able to copy that URL. And if you copy that URL and put it in your website, a student, each time you update it, it automatically updates the link. So anytime a student would go to that particular link, the playlist would be updated if you add more to it. So that's the main thing I wanted to say with that. And you can have unlimited amount of playlists, and you can actually, so I do want to mention that because that is a really popular. All right, moving to My Big Campus.
It says sign in.
Did you create an account with NBC Learn?
I don't remember.
Okay. Go ahead, Cindy.
Okay, so I'm in My Big Campus, and the easiest way to gain access if you go directly from My Big Campus to NBC Learn is to actually click on the down arrow next to your name and go down to Applications. And here you will see the NBC Learn logo, and you can just click Browse NBC Learn.
And don't forget that this, we are videotaping this, and it'll be on the Google page, and I'll share that out so you can watch the video.
Miss O'Brien, would you dial extension 15100? Miss O'Brien, extension 15100.
All right.
And also, I have another sheet I can send you, Katie, about how to do this, and it has little mini clips on showing how to do this. So I'm back to My Big Campus, and then for bundles, it makes it very easy. I'm going to click on Create, go to Bundle. I'll call it Greater Clark. I'm going to click Save.
In My Big Campus? Yeah.
And then go to Content. So I go into the upper right-hand corner, select type of content. I can click on NBC Learn Video. So say, for instance, I'm looking for grammar. I can just type in grammar right there, and that one video I was mentioning how Dr. Grammar comes up. And I thought, oh, this is great. I'm just going to click and drag it over into my bundle. And students would be able to watch it directly from your bundle.
For all the damage now being done to the English language.
Okay, so we have that. The other thing you can do is you can have more. And then I might want to compare it to the decline of grammar. Bring that in there. So you can have as many as you want within it. I've made one with 27, so I know that works. So any of these you can actually bring in here and put it into your bundle. And so if you need to add insert text, you can bring in, if you already have a Word document and you're just pulling these resources in to support what you already have, you can do so. You can make the collaborators so they can make any changes they wish or to their own if they want to, branch out. I'll go ahead and click on Save Bundle. All right, so that was kind of how you get to NBC Learn. That's how you can add it to a bundle. You can also search the library. However, I do recommend that you put NBC in front of it. So here I did Felix, a science one, Felix Baumgartner. So I'm going to click on that. And so all of the different resources with Felix, NBC will come up. So I can click on this right here, and what's really nice is that you can add it directly to your drive or to a bundle. So as you're searching this way, you can put it wherever is best for you to keep up with your resources. So you have that. What's nice too about it within NBC Learn, within My Big Campus, is that it would actually give you browsing related videos selection. So you would have additional, it brings it right to some other places that are very similar. So if you're looking for multiple resources, that's a good way to do that.
We're talking about flipping your classroom. It's a great place that kids can go and build background knowledge in places with
Perfect.
These videos.
Actually, I flipped my classroom myself with NBC Learn. It was amazing. It was before flipping was even flipping, because when we went one-to-one, they could find their own resources. They would set up their own playlist and send them to me. So I understood that they found the right type of videos to support what they were saying. So it's so nice for students to come through here and and find their own thing. I've also set up a group. I know this has been really quick. So I have a Summer of E-Learning group. And if you want to join, I actually put a discussion page for Greater Clark. So if you have any questions, if you want me to find some resources for you, feel free to do so. And you can join by this group code number. I also have my contact information.
And so cindy.harris@nbcuni.com. And again, this will be in the video, and I will tweet out her, or I will email her information to you.
So, and then I also have resources here. Got these informational sheets with many videos. So if you come in here, and this will actually tell you how to make them in bundles. So I have some information here for you to do that, or to go through our standalone. So everything I just talked about, I have written examples along with some mini videos, if you need those as well.
Okay. Any questions? Yes, ma'am.
I traveled to this conference from Ohio, and so I'm not a part of the Indiana purchase.
Right.
How do I bring this idea to my district? What's the cost involved? Can it be a single teacher or a group of teachers? Does it require district buy-in? How does that work?
Oh, and I am not in the sales, but if you want to email me, I will forward it to the proper place. We can see if your district has it. So many times districts have this, and it just doesn't get down to the teachers knowing you have it. So we can look about it, and then they can also, it is by school though. You do have to, I do know you need it by school. But please write my information down, and I will forward it to the right people, and they will get back to you.
Okay.
Because it's a fabulous resource. I mean, I used it for the 3 years my school had it, and I just used it on a daily basis.
I can give that to you before you leave.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
What did you say? NBC what?
NBC UNI.
Yeah, it's for Universal, NBC Universal. So make sure you do have, I do have a dot between the Cindy and the Harrison.
Okay.
And then there's my phone number. Call or text. You can tweet me.
UNI. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah, and she's on Twitter. All right, I do realize now that the first 4 minutes of this video will be your face, and then that Brian Williams will be in the tiny corner, but this is my first live Google Hangout, and we learn from experience.
You know what, we can do another one, Katie, and go over different resources. We can do it later and do that.
Also, I have a huge crush on Brian Williams. If he would like to send me, like, I don't know, a T-shirt that he slept in or whatever, I'm cool.
I'm trying to find that as well for myself. You know, because I am his colleague now. We both work for NBC.
I mean, you are NBC, and so is he.
So, and I've seen him, but I haven't spoken to him. So.
Oh, I have never even seen him in person.
I was like 12 feet from him, and he was giving a presentation. I was trying to take a picture without looking like a stalker.
Are you serious? I would have risked the stalker image. This is live, by the way. All right. You guys want to say bye? Bye. Do you want to unscreen share so we can see your face real quick?
I will. I'll unscreen. Ah, wait. How do I? Oh, here it is.
You go and just click the button again.
There we go. There we are. There we go. Oh, I see you.
Yeah. We don't see you yet. Yay.
Oh, because I still have my page. There I am. Oh, well, I don't know what I did. Sorry.
That's okay.
I see y'all.
Oh, you see us. That's all that's important, right?
It is. That's what's important.
Okay.
Well, is anything?
What?
We do free webinars. So anyone.
Oh, they do free webinars
as well. Any free webinar.
Okay. All right. Cindy, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'll see you soon. Okay.
Okay. Talk to you soon. Bye. There I am. Bye.
Oh, there you are.